And shifting gears now to the auto space, MG Motors has said that it plans to offer majority stakes to local partners over the next 2 to 4 years. This is a part of a 5-year business roadmap in the country. Speaking to CNBC-TV18, President and MD Rajeev Chaba said that the British brand is speaking to multiple partners and has not finalized on any partner as of yet. Listen in.
That we are right now going through phase 2 of MG, we call it MG 2.0, in which we are focusing on volumes growth, profitability and sustainability. It means we should utilize our plant 100% and we should become profitable by the end of this year. Luckily, we have become cash broke even from last month. So this is our plan for short term. Today we were happy to announce the roadmap, as we call it MG 3.0, which is the second plant onwards from 25 to 28. So in that time frame, we are going to have a second plant in Halol itself in Gujarat. That plant would have a capacity of another 180,000. So plant 1 and plant 2 would have 300,000 capacity. We also would launch 4 to 5 cars from the new plant in the next 4 years. Primarily it would be EV. So by 2028, we feel 65 to 70% of our cars would be EV. Now, in terms of Indianizing the operations, it's basically Indianizing the management, Indianizing the board, Indianizing the shareholders, and the whole governance part. So on the shareholder side, we feel that majority of our company would be owned by Indians in the next 2 to 4 years. And the first step of getting Indian partner or Indian financial institutions, hopefully we should be able to announce it and do it in this year.
There have been reports that JSW Steel is interested in acquiring a stake, maybe a 15% stake in MG Motor. What is the current status of those negotiations?
So it's wrong to comment on that speculation, to be honest, because we are talking to multiple partners. And when I say partners, these are the Indian promoters of various companies. It is Indian financial institutions. These are high net worth individuals and also some of our Indian dealers. So it's the whole ecosystem of possible partners is huge, and we are talking to multiple people at this point of time, and we have not finalized with anyone so far.
Right. So is it right to assume that you're speaking to both automobile companies, existing OEMs, vehicle companies in business right now, and also those who are not in the electric vehicle or the passenger car business looking to enter the market?
So these possible partners belong to all kinds of categories and all kinds of industries.
Right. How much stake would you like to dilute by the end of this year?
See, that's difficult to say right now, but our aim is to have majority dilution in favor of Indians in next 2 to 4 years.
2 to 4 years. Also, to ask you, how much money are you looking to raise through this exercise? Would this money then be used for expanding the second plant, expanding your presence across India, and maybe look at cell manufacturing and hydrogen fuel cell manufacturing as well?
So we are planning to raise upwards of 5,000 crores through this exercise in the next 2-3 years, and that should take care of the second plant. Also should enable us to launch 4 to 5 new products. Also, part of it we are going to invest into charging infrastructure. And as far as the battery cell or hydrogen cell is concerned, that will be outside the gambit of this scope, because we intend to have some separate JVs with the Indian possible partner or with other third-party players to bring the technology to India and localize that in India, not only for MG Motor India, but maybe also for some other OEMs.
So how advanced are your plans to cell manufacture in India?
So it's still at a planning stage, and as you know, that technology doesn't exist right now in India, so it's slightly premature to talk about that. But our intention is to help develop the local supply chain system within the country so that we become self-reliant here, and which is in line with the government direction. And that's what we are planning to do. But we need to have a lot of discussions with possible partners there and joint venture partners in order to execute that.
When you speak about an IPO, you said we'll go for an IPO by 2028. What are the steps that you'd like to complete before that?
Frankly, I did not say as such that IPO, but IPO is the logical route, the last stage in this process. And if that happens, that would be towards 2027-28.
So it has been considered, but it's the last step.
That's the last step of this 3-step or 4-step process.
How will the leadership pattern change? What is the company envisaging? The parent company is Chinese entity SAIC. How will things change as far as the board is concerned, the leadership of MG in India is concerned?
I think we need to, this is going to be Indian-led operation. Right now also, even the front end, me and my team, 99.9% of us are Indians who are managing the show here. So that will continue. With the local partner joining us, hopefully that will strengthen the team. That will also hasten and accelerate the pace of execution. And also, possibly, we should be able to localize a lot in India. So that's how the value addition I see it from a possible partner. And I think, as I mentioned, that we are in the process of strengthening our team right now also, because the phase 3 will make us a bigger player, right? So we need to have the right people in the team, and we need to start thinking big from that perspective.
My final question, the Indian government has been reviewing its stance on Chinese investments. It's been happening as far as cell phone manufacturing goes. Your application for PLI, while it was approved, it has been held up due to provisions that is needed, approvals that are needed from DPIIT. Has there been any kind of change in stance on that? What have been your talks with the Indian government? So
I really don't know the status of that, and that probably I'm not the right person to answer. But the way we have articulated our plan, MG 3.0, towards the future, and when we are Indianizing the company, so hopefully lots of things get answered and taken care of by this MG 3.0 approach of Indianizing the operations.
Well, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of News